Hi, it's Frank Versace with Versace Real Estate, and today we're going to do another deep dive video market update for the Winnipeg real estate market, get you all the information that's been going on since COVID and some projections of where we think we're going. Stick around. All right, so let's jump into the numbers and do a bit of a recap. Kind of go through the market, what's happened since COVID hit and affected the Winnipeg real estate market in April. I want to kind of give you an idea. So in the month of April, when COVID first hit, what we noticed was there was a bit of a panic, a bit of a pullback in the market. We found that April numbers were down. We're talking about unit sales. That's the number of properties trading hands in a particular month. So in the month of April, the market was down by 31%. Then came May, market was still down another 19%. But by June, we saw a bit of an uptick and we could tell that there was a bit of a steamroller coming, and June, July, August, September were off to the races. June we had a 24% jump in the numbers for units sold over the previous June in 2019. Then came July with a 32% jump over the previous July. Then came August with a 28% bump, and September was phenomenal. 47% more homes sold in the month of September this year versus last year. And that brings us to our current numbers here for October. So let's run through that. October 2020 unit sales, that's the number of properties that sold, 1,595. That is incredible. 2019, we had 1,173 properties sold. That gives us a jump in the numbers by 36% for the month of October. Another nice bump there. What about volume? That's dollar volume we're talking about. If we took all the units sold, all the properties sold, multiplied that by their sold price and added that up together, that would give us what's called our dollar volume. So in the month of October, we had $505 million worth of real estate sold, whereas last year, October 2019, we had $341 million worth of real estate sold, and that gives us a nice bump there of 48% year-over-year jump in dollar volume sales. So again, just a recap here, May and April down. People were sort of wondering what's going to happen here, and all of a sudden, June, July, August, September, now October, we've had the best months in the history of the Winnipeg Real Estate Board. What about year to date? A lot of people want to know, we started the year off not too bad. We had a couple of down months, and then we've been seeing some upward pressure in the market. What's going on year to date? Let's take a look at those numbers here. So year to date 2020, unit sales, that's the number of properties sold. We had 13,876 units, whereas last year this time we had 12,086 units sold. That's still a bump of 15%, so we're still up year to date. What about dollar volume? So dollar volume, again, all the properties added together, the sold prices, this year we're at $4.2 billion worth of real estate sold, and last year this time we were at $3.5 billion. So that gives us a nice jump of 18% dollar volume. So we're doing very, very well in spite of all the COVID business that's going on out there. Now, what I'd like to do is break out houses versus condos, because they are two distinct markets, and I'd like to share that information here with you. So for the month of October, the housing market 2020 this year had 1,144 homes sold, whereas last year this time, 854 houses sold. So that gives us a jump of 34% for housing market in units. Now, what about dollar volume? This year, 399 million, whereas last year, 269 million. So there's our 48% bump in dollar volume sales for the house market. How are condos doing? Sometimes we do these market video updates and it turns out that condos are not doing as well as houses. Bit of a slowdown, but not this year. Condo market this month for units sold in October, 201 units sold. Last year, this time 147 units sold, and that's a 37% bump in the number of condos sold year over year for October. Dollar volume is the same story. $50 million worth of condo units sold this last October, whereas last year, 33 million. So we're seeing a 50% jump in condo volume. So housing market doing well, condo market doing well. We're really off to the races here and closing out the year real strong. A lot of people like to know, Frank, after the price, they usually ask, a buyer will usually ask, how long has this property been on the market? What they're asking is they're wondering how much of a good deal can they get on the home. For example, if the home's been listed for a very, very short period of time, chances are you're not going to be able to knock a ton of money off the price. But if it sits on the market a little bit longer, now you can start to negotiate and get a better deal. So days on market, DOM, language of real estate, I like to say, that is one of the words that you want to pay attention to. And let's take a look at the market here. So for the housing market, how long is it taking to get a house sold citywide? On average, we're looking at 27 days. So just shy of a month, which is great turnaround. For condos, a little bit longer. Condos have usually historically taken a little bit longer, and that number we're sitting just over a month at 41 days. I also like to share with you the highest price, because that's always interesting information here for Winnipeg. So the high number for housing market was $1.6 million in the month of October. And for the condo market, it certainly held its own at $1.1 million. Now, what about the average? Because a lot of people who are just entering the market as first-time buyers, they want to know, on average, where is the price point here in Winnipeg? So what we're seeing for the housing market is we're seeing the average price sitting right at $349,000. Whereas for the condo market, we're seeing it sit right at $250,000. So condo is a little bit more affordable than the housing market, but still very, very strong, holding very steady at those numbers. A lot of people also like to wonder, what is the chance if you're a buyer that you can buy a property for less than the advertised price? What is the chance you're going to pay the advertised price? And what is the chance you're going to get a better deal at paying less than the advertised price? And same for sellers. They want to know, what are my chances of getting my price or more? And so let's share those numbers here with you. The market for October, we found that 32% of homes were selling above their listed price, and 8% were selling right at their number, while 60% were selling below. So if you're a seller, you want to know what are your chances of getting at or above. It's about 40% of the time, 4 out of 10 times, you're going to get at or above your price. And for buyers, you're really wondering, what is the chance you can get a better deal? And that's 6 out of 10 times, you're going to pay less than the advertised price. And let's keep in mind here that just because you're paying less, it doesn't mean you're paying drastically less. It just means that you're not paying the sticker price on those homes. Now, the last thing I want to share with you here is what's called the absorption rate. And the absorption rate tells us what type of market we're in. What I mean by that is, are we in a buyer's market? Are we in a seller's market? Are we in a balanced market? Who's winning? Is it the buyers? Is it the sellers? Or are they kind of both on par? And so what I can tell you here is a seller's market is if homes are clearing out of inventory and it takes less than 3 months to clear out the inventory. So what I mean is there's a certain number of homes for sale, and if they were all going to sell right down to zero, if no new homes came on the market, how long would it take to clear out that inventory? So seller's market is less than 3 months. Balanced market is 3 to 5 months, and a buyer's market is 5 months or more. So let's take a look again. We're going to separate out the condo market and the housing market. So for houses right now, we have to take a look at how many homes are available as a selection if you're a buyer. And right now we've got 1,578 houses available. Very, very low inventory, one of the lowest I've seen. And we know last month they sold at 1,144 units were sold. So if we take 1,578 and we clear them out at 1,144 per month, that's going to take us 1.4 months to clear out all the inventory. So if no new homes hit the market, in 1.4 months, there would be 0 homes available. That, folks, is incredible. That is a very, very low number of properties available. And at 1.4 months, that puts us very, very tightly into a seller's market. So the sellers are definitely winning there. What about the condo market? For condos, we've got 665 units available right now as active properties. That's your selection as a buyer. And they're selling in the month of October at 201 units. So if we take 665, we clear them out at 201 per month. That gives us 3.3 months worth of inventory available. Now, 3.3 puts us right into a balanced market, just touching the balanced market, slightly over, but kind of leaning right in strongly into that seller's market. So what does this mean for buyers and sellers? Well, for buyers, it means you really need to pay attention to the market. You need to get yourself a great realtor who's watching for you, making sure that you're not missing out on any opportunities, because those homes will sell fast and they'll be gone. You want somebody who's going to help you take advantage of jumping on any property that matches your criteria. Now, what about for sellers? Sellers, you can't get lazy just assuming the market is going to take care of your sale of your house. You still need to do your part. You still need to have a strong realtor who's going to have a great marketing plan, going to negotiate very hard for you. You still need to make sure your house shows well, get those little repairs done, stage it if you need to, make sure it comes out of the gate really strong with a good price that's going to attract that buyer demand, and you're going to win. And that's certainly what we want to help you do here at Versace Real Estate. Our goal is to help you win. If you're a buyer, if you're a seller, we'd love to help you get a great deal or get a great price on your home if you want to sell. Now, if you also have any referrals, friends, family members, co-workers, anybody you know looking for real estate, we would certainly appreciate if you'd recommend Versace Real Estate here to your friends and family, because we'd love to help as many families as we can. Now, going into the following couple of months here, coming through into November, coming through into December, I think we're going to see a strong market going forward. I think we're going to continue to see some of these numbers, even in spite of code red and all that. Real estate is running as an essential service for now. And so if you're looking at property, we would love to help you. And, certainly not business as usual. We're making sure sanitization is happening, masks are happening, we're limiting the amount of people inside of a home. So we're doing everything we can to protect the public, and that is our goal, protect the public, make sure everybody stays healthy. So I hope this information has been helpful for you, and stay positive and certainly stay healthy.